one of the most mysterious, powerful, and dangerous substances in all of Oerth is Oerthblood, and we're going to talk about it today on Greyhawk Grognard. We first learn about Oerthblood in Return of the Eight by Roger Moore. This was a module that was written during the From the Ashes era and largely revolves around the Circle of Eight coming back, most of them after having been killed during the Greyhawk Wars. What we learn about Oerthblood here is its very magical and mysterious nature. I'm going to read just a little bit of it here. Um, The Fortress of Unknown Depths got its name from two sources, one of which was the near dive, known as the Lake of Unknown Depths. That makes sense. The other reason for its name was this room, the Endless Well. It is a device called the Endless Well, actually a centuries-old automated mine that uses golems and machinery to bring deeply buried substances to the surface. The Endless Well can draw up a molten dark red ferrous metal that, when cooled, is black, dense, easily enchanted, and nearly impervious to damage. This substance is called Oerthblood, and from it several famous artifacts were made, such as Heward's mystical organ and parts for the infamous Machine of Lum the Mad. Oerthblood is dangerous to handle, and much of the work involved in tapping it, pouring it into sheets or molds, working it and finishing it is done by golems and automatons that can withstand the molten substance's unpredictable radiation as well as the local heat and poisonous gases. Tensor knew about the Endless Well long before he claimed the castle. The well was the reason he wanted the castle in the first place. So that's what we get here. And you get an idea from that of just how dangerous and important it is. It allows you to make these very powerful magical artifacts and weapons and so forth, and that's why Tensor wanted to keep it. In other places, we learn that the castle itself was built by Iridian tribes during the migrations after the fall of the Baklunish Empire and the Sul Imperium. And because the Iridians knew that the Endless Well was there, so they built up the castle to protect it and use the Oerthblood themselves. Now, the other place that we know of for sure that the Oerthblood is to be found is the city of Irongate. And I'm going to quote here from Dragon 351, where it gives us a little more detail on how precisely the Oerthblood is used to make weapons and armor. Um, Weapons and armor must be made of a specific alloy of Oerthblood, known mostly to the artificers and smiths of Irongate, to gain the following benefits. Only primarily metallic objects gain these bonuses. Weapons made from Oerthblood get a +1 luck bonus on attack and damage rolls. A target that takes damage takes a -1 penalty on all saves made against magical effects for 1 round. And armor gets +1, medium armor +2, heavy armor +3. It's all going to depend on the specific prediction of the rules that you're talking about, and then give some cost modifiers and so forth. And this article also says that Oerth-blooded iron, so-called blood iron, is an exceedingly rare and precious material created from an amalgam of iron and Oerth blood. Discovered at as early as the age of Queen Elissa, Oerth blood is a highly magical element found only on Earth and thought to by some to be the residue of creation. Um, and by reputation, it is as strong as adamantine and just as effective. Shimmering black flecks on their surface distinguishes Oerth-blooded items. So we see here that you're going to be able to create magic items very easily here using this. And in this article, we get the idea of not just pure Oerth-blood used to make things. Like in the module, there's like a dagger made with the made out of a hunk of the stuff. Here we are talking about using it to make alloys and so forth. So it's very, you can use it in a bunch of different ways depending on what you need in your own campaign. And that brings us to an interesting question about how you would use this stuff in a campaign. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult to work. We saw that in the Tensor's Castle. but it's also going to make things very easy to make magic items out of. So it's going to be in high demand if people even know about it. Because one of the things that Return of the Eight makes very clear is that nobody knows about that endless well under the castle. So nobody's going to know that it's a source of Oerthblood. Few people are going to know what Oerthblood is in the first place, let alone how to work it and so forth. Iron Gate seems to be an exception there because they have all their smiths and everything will at least know of it, even if they've never worked with it or even seen it themselves. But it'll have that reputation of Iron Gate is the place to go for these weapons, and it's possible that in Iron Gate, they don't really know how to do it directly. They have to use it as an alloy in something else because we only see the alloy idea here in this article on Iron Gate. We don't see it necessarily referred to in that way in Return of the Eight. So I think we might be seeing different levels of understanding of how to use it in different places. So Tensor is an archmage who's been working with this stuff for decades. He has one understanding of it. The people in the metalworkers and armorers and stuff in Iron Gate have been working with it in on a practical level, maybe not as a theoretical level, for decades, if not centuries. So they have different understandings of the stuff and how to use it, and that could actually be a very cool way to integrate it into a campaign. Hi, everybody. Please help me keep Greyhawk alive by liking this video and subscribing. It really does help. You can also become a member of the channel or support me on Patreon and get early access to my videos, exclusive content, free or at-cost copies of my Greyheim Adventures modules, and more. Thanks, and now back to the show. For example, you might have somebody from Iron Gate, who wants to know more of the metaphysical aspects of the Oerthblood. Where does it come from? Well, what's its origin? What other things has it been used for? How do how can you extract more of it from the ground? If it's very rare, maybe it's all been exhausted in Iron Gate or whatever, and they want to find other places so that they can, create not just magic weapons and armor with it, but maybe the fabled types of artifacts and relics that we saw in with the machine of Loom the Mad and so forth. So it can be the impetus for a thing for an adventure. It could also be something that you find as a treasure, right? Even if it's just ingots of cooled Oerth blood, they could be incredibly valuable. It'd be like finding ingots of adamantium. As a treasure, you could do it that way. And of course, you can have Oerth blood weapons and armor and so forth as treasure themselves. And maybe you'd give them special powers in and amongst themselves. Maybe they've been enchanted with different spells to make them more protective or more effective in battle. So there's all kinds of ways to use this stuff, and even a book that mentions the stuff could be valuable in and of itself. Maybe even a short treatise on Oerthblood and how to use it, or its speculations on its origins by some ancient sage. That could be of great value itself as a treasure to somebody who's willing to pay for it, who wants to know the information, or maybe even one of the PCs if he's high enough level and he wants to start working with it and studying it in the same way that Tensor has. You could do all kinds of stuff with it that way. And of course, the most obvious way to bring it into your game is have a third source of Oerthblood that the PCs discover. We know it's under the Castle of Unknown Depths. We know it's under Iron Gate. Who knows where else it could be? Maybe maybe there's going to be something in the Rift Canyon that has a connection to the Oerthblood. Maybe agents of Ayuz want to get to it, or maybe the Horn Society, or all kinds of different things. Maybe there's something out in the Barrier Peaks or the Yaddle Mountains or something. Maybe the Witch Queen Igwilv was looking for it or found it and was using it in some of her experiments. There's all kinds of things that you could do with this to make the Oerthblood, this mysterious substance that has a great deal of magical versatility. You could turn this into the focus of a series of adventures for a long, long time. So it's definitely valuable not only in game but also as a story related concept. This Oerthblood. So anyway, there we go. That's the sources on the Oerthblood are limited to say the least. But I hope you found this quick little introduction to the concept to be of interest. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you ever done anything with Oerthblood in your game? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know. And hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will talk to you all later.
Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.